In a Violent Nature is a new experimental horror film from the point of view of the killer. So today, let's see if this new film is worth your time. Hey everybody, my name's Justin here. I try to watch everything that hits theaters and on streaming services. If you guys are like me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and click that bell notification for more up and coming content. When a group of teens take a locket from a collapsed fire tower in the woods, they unwittingly resurrect the rotting corpse of Johnny, a vengeance spirit spurred on a horrific 60-year-old crime. So I was really interested in A Violent Nature just because of how experimental it is. I feel like the best parts of Friday the 13th are when you get the point of view from the killer, Jason, or in the first film, his mother. And that's what this film does. It just takes all of that and just follows our killer mostly from behind the shoulder of the killer. There are a few scenes where you have the teenagers around a fire pit, and that's where you build the story of this killer. But most of the film is from an overshot view of our killer. And this film had a really great premise that unfortunately didn't live up to its hype, and the idea of it kind of weared off pretty quickly. I thought the pacing for it was really good in the beginning, where you got him just slowly walking, finding people to kill. A purpose for all of it when we learned later on within the film. It's really gory and just plays up on the best parts of some of these horror films and doing something a bit different. I really did appreciate how experimental this was, and they really just ran with it all. At times, I will admit, it became a little boring just having him walk through the woods and have him walk very slowly. Yes, a lot of the scenery is very nice to look at, and I felt very calm when watching this movie at times. It just became a little bit redundant, and seeing our killer walk slowly throughout, stopping to listen to people, which you would see in a Friday the 13th film. You know, Jason moves very slowly, but it is paired with a story and developing characters and having transitions as well. A lot of what they do within this film is just the character walking. And so at times I felt like I wanted to just move a little bit quicker or have some different transitions along the way. Now, we can't talk about this review without talking about the very much discussed kill in here, the yoga scene, which I'm not going to go into full detail, but if you've heard reactions of people throwing up at their screen, which I fully don't believe in that. I think it's just a tactic to kind of sell some tickets. But I watched the scene, and at one point I was like, okay, this is not too bad. And then I went, oh yeah, now I understand why. It is a pretty unique kill, and one of the best I have ever seen. It feels like it would be something within Terrifier. No, I didn't feel any need to vomit, or I wasn't squirmy when watching that, but I thought it was pretty epic. There are a lot of graphic kills, but nothing comes close to that one yoga scene. I appreciated too that it was in the daytime, so you fully got to see everything. In A Violent Nature also does a great job of giving us a backstory to our killer. If it was just the whole story of him walking and killing people, I would actually want some kind of meat to the story, some like development for our character, understanding his purpose. And there's a few scenes throughout where you have our teenagers around a house or a campfire, and they tell stories about this person and years prior what had happened to him, and then you just see him lurking in the background. So I did appreciate that they were actually able to tell a story. It wasn't like a full-on focus of the film, and there wasn't a lot of development for the teenagers. They were just there to serve a purpose of telling the story and being there to be killed. So it was a nice kind of shake up in the middle half of the movie from him walking. You got a few different points in the film where they are telling the story about this killer. So in A Violent Nature, I really did appreciate the experimental look at it and having it from the point of view of the killer. I thought it was really different, and I really did like that. Unfortunately, it did kind of wear off about middle half of the film. I wanted the pacing to pick up a little bit because it felt very slow with a lot of the walking and just looking at the trees and the woods and all of that. Well, I thought was very nice. I just wanted things to speed up and have maybe a few more kills within the film. But I did like the film, and how graphic it was, and adding some lore to this character, because it is a nice start to have something to be very different when you take some of the best parts of horror films, especially Friday the 13th, with him just lurking in the background, seeing him targeting his victims. That's what I loved about the Friday the 13th movies, and I loved a lot of that within this film. So before I give you my score for In a Violent Nature, make sure to check out my channel. Here I do movie reviews, trailer reactions, ranking videos, tier lists, all that fun movie related content that you see on YouTube. I do it all here, so hit that subscribe button to get it all in one spot. And if you'd like to see where In a Violent Nature ranks amongst all the other 2024 releases I've seen this year, follow me on Letterboxd, and there you can find my ranking. I'm gonna go ahead and give In a Violent Nature a B-. Thank you guys for checking out my review for In a Violent Nature, a new experimental horror film. Have you guys seen it by chance? What'd you think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below, and stay tuned for more up and coming content like this. My name is Justin Watches Movies, and you guys stay classy too.